friends, Sleepy here, and welcome to another episode of the weekly playlist. Today I've only got one game to share with you guys because I've only actually played one game this entire week, but I put a lot of time into it and I finally beat it. It is for the Famicom, but I played on my NES with my adapter. I'd like to hear your guys' thoughts on this game if you had played it before. I'd also like to hear what games you guys have been playing recently. And if you guys have any suggestions on games you think I should play, let me know because you guys always suggest good games. And that game that I've been playing is The Glory of Heracles 2 for the Famicom. Now, this is an RPG series that was exclusive to Japan, except for one that was released on the DS that we got here. Otherwise, there was two on the Famicom, two on the Super Nintendo. There's one on the Game Boy, and I think there might have been one on like the GameCube or something, but none of them were released outside of Japan except for that one on the DS that we got. And when I saw that the seller on eBay had an English translated copy, I figured I'd give it a try because I checked out some gameplay footage, and I really liked the way that it played. The graphics remind me of like Pokemon games on the Game Boy. Is exactly how Destiny of an Emperor 2 is, so the same kind of control scheme and the way that the characters and the world look is how this looks, and I was not disappointed at all. I actually had a lot of fun playing this, and it was one that I just wanted to play through and beat. The story in it is not like a super long game, but with doing some grinding because you want to level your character up, you can get at least 15, 20 hours or more out of this game. I probably played it up close to like 25 because I got leveled up to over level 50, which I do need to recommend to let you guys know that this game is really difficult in the beginning because you only have one character. You end up getting a total of 4 playable characters, but at the start of the game, you only have one, which is your hero. Now, this RPG is based on Greek mythology, so it's set in a Greek world where you're the hero and you have to fight this evil, crazy guy who looks like a Satan, and he wants to take over the world and enslave it, and you have to stop him. And one of the main things is you need to get this Chaos Axe, but the only person who can wield it is Heracles, but he's up in heaven, and so you have to be able to get 3 different pieces put together so you can get the Chaos Axe, and then you also have to get another magical item that you can use to summon Pegasus so that you can fly to heaven and get Heracles from Zeus and the gods. But really fun game. Just like I said, it's very difficult though at that initial stage. You have to grind, do a few battles, go back and heal early on before the game gets a little easier. And then you unlock the second character, which is the centaur creature. And what's really funny is in this game, when you go to the village where he's at, there's some kids that are picking on him. And if you talk to one of the other kids who's in the middle of town, he'll tell you, oh yeah, that centaur, he's a wimp. Nobody really likes him. They'll pick on him. Oh yeah, he's a pussy. So when I heard that they actually called somebody a pussy in the game. So that was funny and unique. I don't know how the Japanese version is what they called him, but the English translation that the fan did for this, they called him a pussy, and I thought that was funny having that in a Nintendo game. But once you get him, the game becomes a lot easier because he gets a lot of different magic spells which you can cast in this game. So like the combat is turn-based, and you have different stats and stuff, and like the higher your agility is, the quicker it is that you can attack. And you can have like something right at the beginning, you usually have like 1 to 4 enemies at a time on screen, but later in the game you can have like 6 or 7, and each one of them can attack, and sometimes they can attack twice. And if you only have one character, you only get to attack once, and you only do so much damage. So it's definitely a difficult game at the beginning, but as you get the other characters in the game, it does become a little easier as you learn magic spells. You can use stuff to heal yourself. You have spells that can attack. You have spells that can deflect their spells because enemies in the game can also cast magic attacks and stuff on you. They can also heal themselves. They can use spells to poison you, to turn you to stone. They can make you become numb. And there's a huge variety of enemies too. That was another thing I really liked. There was a lot of different enemies. They got zombies. There's tree bosses, tree guys. You have all kinds of different enemies, spiders, there's crab guys, there's ghosts, there's black mages, there's all kinds of weird devil-looking creatures, and there's a lot of ones that look similar, but in order to save memory on the cartridge, they just changed the shade of the creatures and then named them something different and made little stronger versions of them. But it's a really, really fun game. Your third character you get is the statue character, and she's a very strong magic user. She's not very strong as far as with physical attacks, but she does have a lot of powerful spells and stuff that she learns as she levels up, and she becomes a very useful character. And then towards the very end of the game, like the final stage of it, you get Heracles, who is super strong, can kill almost any enemy with like 1 or 2 hits, and is a really good guy. Like, I would have wished I could have had him earlier in the game, but they save him for the end as like the power character that you get. Now, I don't know what the level cap is in this is, but I got my main character up to level 50, and after that, his stats didn't go up. Like, he would level up and it didn't do anything else. Now, the centaur and the statue character, now I got them up to like level 55, and they kept getting stronger and their stats kept going up. Every time, your luck is up, your mana power, your health, agility, all your typical stuff in RPGs that affect your character stats, all that got stronger. So for some reason, they capped the main character at 50. He can get higher levels, but his stats don't improve, so it's literally just a number you see going higher. But the other characters get stronger. Heracles is another one. He starts at level 30 when you get him, but he does not improve because you need like 250,000 XP points to go up. But typically between levels, you need about 5,000 XP, and different enemies give you different XP, and you also get gold, which you can use in the game to sleep at inns. You can use it to purchase better weapons. You can use it to buy items, that kind of thing, and it's very useful. Do have to let you know that there is a cap, though. You can only earn 999,000 gold. After that, you won't have any more space for it. But there are, in some of the towns, you do have a little storage thing, and it's basically like a bank, and you can give the guy the money there, and he'll store it for you, and then you use that money. You can have it stored there so that he can earn more money. And there is a penalty, though. If you do die and all your characters lose all their health, you'll be sent back to where you saved at, and you have to, the expenses, you lose half your health. So that's a really big penalty. So I definitely suggest, especially early on, if you build up some money, put that in the bank so that you don't have to worry about if you die that you lose half your money, because it can be really detrimental when you're saving up money for a really expensive item and you lose half of it because you get stuck in a dungeon and die. But really, really fun game. At the end of the game, it just gets absolutely brutal like it is at the beginning. It's a huge marathon going through this evil guy's castle tower thing, and you have to just go through a winding thing. You get constant battles. All the enemies in there are really strong, and even though I was really powered up, it was still difficult. A couple times they had one instant death moves. Luckily, my centaur knows a revive spell, and I was able to revive, but I died, I think, 3 times. My main character did, when I got hit by attacks and stuff, and then I made it to that final boss, and he does some super strong attacks and some magic spells and stuff, and it's really difficult. But when I finally beat him, man, it was just awesome. I just loved it, and I got to see the ending and everything, and it went all the way through. The only disappointing thing is I couldn't save it at all, so it just had to turn the game off. When I turned it off, it had me right back before I went to the final boss, so I can always beat it again. But I was so excited to beat the game, and this is actually my first Famicom game that I ever beat now, so loved Glory of Heracles 2. Highly recommend you check it out. The best way to play this would be get the ROM for it, and then I would recommend get a walkthrough and check it out, because you can get confused sometimes, and the magic spells have weird names, like 4-2 or Pago or something like that. You're not going to know what they do unless you do it. I had a little guide that said what the spells did, and I printed them out for the different characters, so I know what I was doing. I mean, if after you play a while, you figure out what cures what. But it's a really fun RPG. Highly recommend. You guys like Final Fantasy games, you like any kind of little RPGs, and you like the Nintendo ones where they look like the Pokemon type graphics, highly recommend the Glory of Heracles 2. Very fun game. So if you guys ever played it before, let me know. If not, I definitely recommend you check it out. It's a fun game. I'd also like to hear what games you guys have been playing this week. And if you guys have any suggestions on games you've been that you think I should play, please let me know. You guys always suggest really fun stuff, and I have a list on my phone of games to keep an eye out for. I want to thank you guys for watching. Take care, have an amazing day, and Sleepy will see you next time.